What were we talking about? What did they say before we got on here? Wiggly Dickly? What did they say?
Oh yeah, Wiggly Wieners. We were talking about
Wiggly Wieners.
Yeah, we were talking about if there's a. We should just start with all of our podcast homies. We'll start a hot dog chain called Wiggly Wieners. That'd be cool.
I like it. I would eat at Wiggly Wiener. I would eat at
Wiggly
it would have
Wiener?
to have Wiggly Wieners. It would have to have like the hot dog bun with like the hot dog has to have a face though. Like it has to be a personified like, you know.
A face? What?
Yeah, the hot dog has to have a face like
like with ketchup, like
a person, like a face. You ever see like Sausage Party or something like that? Like, you know, like it's an actual like talking like, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So I have an idea. Have Bill narrate the ad like Stanley Parable, put Tommy in a hot dog costume, and have Thrak try to eat him. And then sort of make it like a Tom and Jerry type situation, but Bill's narrating the entire time.
Bill's drunk as fuck, so he just goes,
Why do I feel like Tommy would enjoy this the most? I don't know why. I just feel like that's his jam.
He's pretty fucking unhinged, man.
Years ago, I was Chinese.
What it do, everybody? It's me, Aaron. I got that tiger's blood in me, and you're listening to SuperPod Saga. Welcome back to SuperPod Saga, everybody. The second greatest collaboration of all time. Holy shit! Normally, Jerry and I are on a quest to talk about every video game topic in existence, 1 week at a time. Fortunately, Jerry is not here today. He's had a procedure. He won't get too into it, but he's fine. He's in recovery. He'll be gone for about like 2 or 3 weeks, but he's all right though. He'll come back.
Can I say what Jerry got done officially?
Yeah, do it.
He got Goemon hair. That was the surgery. He wanted Goemon hair so bad he finally got it.
He got like the total facial reconstruction, so he looks just like Goemon from Nintendo 64, like with the ridge, like the Nintendo 64.
Specifically
ridges.
that one? Okay.
Yep. He got it done where it takes a second for the textures to load, so it's pretty cool.
Ooh. Hell yeah. Yeah, I could get that. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Kirby Planet Robobot today. That's right. We're doing something different. We're talking about just one game today, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for it. I guess we're popping our cherry with single game episodes, so it'll be fun.
It's about time. I think I bullied you into this. I'm pretty sure.
I think this whole thing first started when we were talking about doing Shin Megami Tensei 5 for an episode, and I meant like let's do it for fine time, but you were like, oh, are we gonna do it for SuperPod? And I thought like, maybe we should just do it for SuperPod. Like, I'm
still down. I'm very down for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got guests here to fill the void in my heart. Now that Jerry is missing, he's MIA once more. We've got two handsome, dazzling fellas here to join me today. I've got. Thank you. Chris, give the mic a smooch. Give us a big one, Chris.
I'm gonna channel my little sister when she was a kid.
I like it.
It was so weird. When she was little, you would be like, give me a kiss, and she would get up to your cheek and you would just feel teeth going.
It bites you.
It was like a reverse bite.
That's pretty good.
Holy shit. Everybody, Chris's little sister is secretly a raptor. First off, we have Andre from Fine Time. Hello, Andre.
Hello, everybody. Hello, SuperPod audience. I am here to torch you once again because Aaron invited me back. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome, sir. And we've got Chris from A Novel Console. Hello.
Hey, I'm doing podcasts again.
Nice. It is about time. It's when did you stop? Like May or June?
I think exactly mid-May. Because I remember my last episode that I uploaded May 13th, 2024.
That was it was with Jala?
No, Jala was the one before in April 22nd.
Damn it.
Look at him trying to be this number one novel console fan here.
I lost my $1 million.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Aaron.
That's okay. Since we're doing this whole new SuperPod Saga formula, for any, I mean, you guys aren't necessarily new guests, but you are new guests to the new formula. So we're going to open things up with first, actually, go ahead and plug your shows. Before we get to the next part, go ahead and plug your shows. Andre, go ahead and plug away, talk about yourself and your show and anything else you want to plug. Plug.
Okay, well, shit. If you haven't had the misfortune of plugging it in, who said that? If you haven't had the misfortune of hearing me on the show before, hello, I am your boy Trey. I am from Fine Time, a podcast I do with my friends Steve and Kevin. We talk about whatever the hell we want. New games, old games. We could talk about something new, like Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. We could talk about something old, like Kirby Planet Robobot. Whatever we are authentically playing, that's what we're going to talk about, because, that's what feels right to us. We love covering news. We love Nintendo Directs or Gamescom or TGS or shows like that. We love getting in the muckety muck. Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? We love to embarrass each other with quiz games. On this week's episode, as of this recording, Steve embarrassed us with a quiz game. We tried to do like fake ass Family Feud, name the top 10 candies kids want. We got one of them before we bombed out between me and Kevin. 1 out of 10. Nerds was not on there, and Milky Way was not on there. What the fuck, children?
What are kids eating? Like fucking walnuts or something? Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. Like
full shelled walnuts.
Yeah, full shell. Yeah, they're like literally using the nutcracker like mouth to like open them. No, man. Like a lot of stuff was on there. Starburst, M&Ms, like stuff you'd think of. It's just like, really? I didn't even get nerds. Like kids, come on. Anyway, we love to do stuff like that. So come have a fine time with us.
Beautiful. Chris, go ahead and plug away once more. Plug.
So I'm the host, the main host probably of a novel console. My wife is the second host. She keeps saying we're gonna record, and then we never do. So we have an episode coming out on October 28th. Finally,
nice, good.
We talk books, games, food, stuff that caught our attention. Basically that's our show. Next year we're starting a big project. I'm excited to announce it at the beginning of the year. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to have 3 of our buddies coming every other month to do an episode to talk about a series. It's going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait for it.
That sounds great.
But yeah, hopefully we're going to do at least 2 a month. But a novel console is going to be officially back on the 28th.
Hell yeah, that's awesome news, man.
It is.
Thank you.
That's awesome news. And listeners, you can check out all of us on SuperPodNetwork.com. You can find SuperPod Saga there. I mean, you're already listening to it, so yeah, whatever. You can find Fine Time there, Novel Console. You can find Getting Together, Tommy's Video Game Ride Along, which is also back from his hiatus. He's got a 41-minute episode coming, which is his longest by far. So that'll be good.
That's an eternity for him.
Wow.
It's just 41 minutes of him going, fuck.
I can't wait to read the transcript for that one.
Apple transcripts will still fuck it up, so it'll say like quack or something. No, duck. It'll say duck.
Duck, yeah.
It'll say every word that sounds like uck without the F.
Yeah, muck, cuck,
cluck,
suck, yeah, cluck. Tommy's Video Game Cuck Along.
It reminds me of the game in 1-2 Switch, the fake draw, because you have the quick draw. It says fire, and then you like point the Joy-Con, you fire. There's fake draw where they say other F words, like fire, file, freeze, fire, and then you have to listen for fire, and then but if you press it, you get fooled by another word, then you're out. I love it. So yeah, you just be like cuck, truck, fuck, and then you have to press the thing. That's my game, everybody. I work at Nintendo.
Nice. So you're the uncle that works on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. I'm 42 years old. I'm uncle territory.
Nice.
And yet your uncle is also Bill Gates, so you could have their gamer tag banned like that.
Yeah, it's gone. I can
That's
I
how
can
that
delete
works,
that
right?
shit. Mhm.
Even though you're not even in the Xbox department, you just work for like Microsoft Office 365, but you can still have their gamer shit banned.
Office 365.
Right.
I work for Encarta 97.
I work for Netscape.
Fucking Encarta.
Oh man, I'm sorry to bring Encarta back to everyone.
It's all right, man.
Fine.
It's okay. Also, listeners, I'm getting over like a tiny bit of a sickness. I apologize if I sound disgusting, but who cares? Hey, it's the guest question. Yeah, both of you guys, you're old. Pretty much everybody except for Friday Night Gamecast at this point is brand new to the whole SuperPod saga, new formula. So, yeah, what's your favorite gaming memory? We'll go in order unless you guys want to like talk both at the same time, overlapping. That'd be kind of cool. But
the thing I try to prevent the most on Fine Time, that is my nightmare come true.
Go ahead,
I guess I'll go first. I'll go first. I don't know if this is. See, I don't know. There's so many, right? Okay, I'll go with this one. I was 19, right? This is early 2001. Maybe I was still 18, turning 19. This is January 2001. Phantasy Star Online comes out for Dreamcast. I've been waiting for this day for a long time, right? And I get the game comes from FedEx. I'm sitting there because back in the day, FedEx like they whisper on your door, and if you don't hear them, like you're losing your shit. So I got the game. I was waiting for it like a hawk. I put it in the Dreamcast. All of a sudden, my stomach does a flip. Oh boy, I have to shit right now. I proceed. So like I go to the bathroom, have like the worst diarrhea of my life still to this day. I come back and I'm like, oh my God, I feel drained, right? I'm like, oh my God, right? I'm trying to play PSO for the first time. I've been waiting for this game for months. And it's obviously an online game. You can't pause. You're playing with friends. And I'm just having the worst diarrhea of all time. Like I just have to leave, or it's like, oh, I got to turn the game off now, or I have to get eaten by monsters and lose all my shit because my body will not cooperate this one day in my life. It was the worst, but it was also the best because Phantasy Star Online is one of my favorite games of all time. I stayed up for 24 hours. I played the game for 24 hours straight. I got the game at 3 p.m. Through all the diarrhea eventually stopped after a few hours, thank God. But I played it till 3 p.m. the next day until I just passed out. I was in the mines dungeon and I just fell asleep. And I guess the dial-up connection it was at that time just quit or something like that. I don't know what happened, but I passed out. I was like, oh, what the fuck happened? I was like, that was great. But yeah, diarrhea and PSO, that's a gaming memory for me. It just sucked because it was like the worst possible time for that to happen, right? Like it was just like, I cannot believe this shit. Literally cannot believe this shit.
Literally, dude.
Oh, that's awful.
So that's my gaming memory for the day.
I don't know if this is going to be a favorite, but it is a gaming memory. When I was a kid, we used to rent a lot of Nintendo 64 games because my parents didn't know if I was going to play a game that they bought. Just buy a game and just play it forever. So we would rent a lot. And if I rented one at least 10 times in a row, they would end up buying it. So
10 times?
Pretty much. It felt like that sometimes because I feel like I rented Star Fox 64 a shit ton of times before they finally bought it for me. And I remember,
Jesus Christ,
the first time I saw Andross, I was like 7 or 8. And I was just sitting there. I finally get to Venom. I'm finally going to fight Andross. I see him. And he's so fucking scary that I freeze. And he just kills me over and over again. I turn off the 64 and I don't touch the game for the rest of the weekend because I was fucking horrified. It was like frozen fear. Like I had no emotions because I couldn't comprehend what the fuck I just saw.
This fucking guy ruined you. He fucking demolished you.
So now every time I kill Andross, it feels a little bit personal. All the the I think it's been 28 times this year that I've killed them has been pretty personal. So
wow. Wow, so it really freaked you out. That's amazing.
Yeah, it got me. Like, I was like, oh fuck, what is this? Because you see Polygon Hand's giant fucking monkey face laughing at you. Back then it was horrific. It's still kind of scary, but yeah, that fucking
then you were like,
me.
wow, arson is cool. Then you started lighting shit on fire because you don't have any emotions.
It was all in the shape of Andros.
Oh, someone please do that.
Yeah, the thing that scared the shit out of me at that age was Zelda 2, the Return of Ganon screen when you run out of lives and the laugh. I would turn the game off before that happened. I wouldn't even save the game, obviously, because you have to get past that. I would turn and then I got smart. I would turn the TV off if I kept track of how many lives I had, so I wouldn't have to see it. Then I'd turn the TV back on. Then I would save.
That's good. That's smart.
Yep.
I think the thing that freaked me out the most. I forget how old I was, but it was on the PS1. It was Clock Tower 2.
Oh Jesus!
And of course I was.
We're talking kid. Nintendo games, and there's like, oh, here's pure horror.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember any Nintendo games that like scared me or spooked me or anything like that. But Clock Tower 2, though, of course, being a dumb kid, and this game is just broken and just such a piece of fucking shit that I couldn't get out of the house. Like, I couldn't make it past the house at all. You come across, I think her name was, Stephanie Tate, the little possessed girl. Like, for the longest time, I was just walking around the house trying to figure out what to do. It's a point and click, so you're just, like, trying to solve puzzles and figure out where the fuck to go. And then all of a sudden, you come into a room, and, like, all you hear is, ha 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 ha, like her dumb fucking digitized laugh, and her face is like pale, and she has like the tiniest knife known to man. But I was a kid, and I was like, fuck that, and I hit reset.
You reset, so you didn't even try to run away. You were just like, boop.
Nope. Fuck that. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
He hit reset. He made sure she was gone.
Yep.
You can't hurt me anymore if I reset the game.
That's right. She can't hurt me if I don't play the game. Or whatever. I don't know. Fuck that. No,
bitch. That's kid logic. Yeah, I've never been a Clock Tower. I don't like hide and seek horror, so Clock Tower doesn't do it for me. Yeah.
No,
it's cool. I recognize it as like a cool thing, but it's not my thing.
Clock Tower 2 is just a piece of shit, though. Like probably the best way to experience it. Just watch Nitro Rad's video on Clock Tower 2. He goes very in depth with it. It's and he just explains how big of a piece of shit it is. It's good watch.
I like Nitro Rad a lot. Yeah, yep. I'll have to watch that.
See, I can't play those hide and seek horror games because my fight or flight sense is fight always.
Defaults to fight.
It defaults to fight. First, I thought there was something stalking me the other day on the other side of the fence, and I just went into fight. And because I default to fight, I hate horror games because I just want to throw hands whenever I start feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's why I love a game. That's why I love a horror game with a good melee weapon. Everyone says you can play Resident Evil with a knife. Fuck that shit. That knife sucks. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, that thing is trash. Silent Hill or something with a wooden board or a bat or something. Hell
Dude,
yeah,
a pipe.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
you know,
a fucking lead pipe.
Absolutely.
That's
a good lead pipe.
That's why I liked Callisto Protocol so much, because it's you have to hit them with a bat, otherwise you're fucked, because the shooting that game is not meant for shooting. It's for smacking them around.
Yep.
Or like Dead Space. Like, I don't know about the remake, but the original, you hit like right trigger without aiming, and Isaac does that huge sweeping swing with whatever weapon.
He still does it.
Yep, that shit was good.
It's great.
Oh, it's so good.
We're not talking about those though. We're talking about Kirby Planet Robobot, baby. Normally we do super important breaking news, but Jerry's not here, so we're just gonna scoot past that. Plus, there really isn't a whole lot of news.
We were struggling this week on Fine Time. I tell you what, we had a couple. That's why we played the Family Feud and we talked about the Burger King meal and shit, because there is nothing happening right now. Yeah, so I feel you.
Yeah, maybe other than like the whole Internet Archive thing, where like but hackers wiped it out, and then it kind of came back, but then they took it back down again, and now it's like read only from like the Wayback Machine and all that shit. But that's a huge thing.
So what's the next big news thing? Game Awards? That's it?
Yeah,
because I don't think
Nintendo's
Nintendo's
we're past TGS, unless Nintendo drops whatever they're doing. Yeah, right.
Doubt it.
So
highly doubt it.
There's that too, that playtest thing. It turned out to be this like big world building thing where you and other people online work together to like build worlds and like lands and shit. 'Cause, like with that whole thing, Nintendo was like, please don't leak this to other people. Please don't leak this online. People immediately fucking did. They streamed it. People fucking streamed this shit
I don't know why
online.
people would do that, man. Nintendo doesn't fuck around,
No,
dude. Don't do that.
Yeah.
What's it called?
That's all it is.
Did You Know Gaming did a video on Pokemon ROM hacks, and apparently Nintendo is super lenient when it gets to the point where we're going to court. It's because the person has been not responding at all to anything Nintendo has told them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they can. I saw some of the leaked playtest stuff. I will say, though, this definitely doesn't look like a game. I don't think this is a game we're playing in the future. I think this is just testing some sort of idea that they want to try with everybody. I don't think this is like a thing we're playing. So
it's a PlayStation Home, but Nintendo?
Kinda, yeah, because you have like weird minerals and shit.
What if it's like, I always get these mixed up, Miitomo, but like with people right now? Maybe they're gonna make the next Miitomo or like Miitopia. I forget. Yeah,
Miitopia.
Like
Miitopia's the one. Wait, what's the one where the
Miitopia
RPG
that's the RPG. Miitopia.
Okay, that's the one.
Miitomo is the one where you like live in a house and shit or something.
Yeah, and they ask you questions and shit. Yeah, we can't play anymore.
Yeah.
Miitopia. I'm glad that got ported to Switch. I do think that game's pretty funny. But yeah, I think on Fine Time we talked about. Did you guys hear about the Bandai Namco expulsion rooms? So because in Japan you can't lay people off, so they just send them to this room with nothing to do all day, and they still pay them, trying to get these people to quit or whatever.
What the fuck? Really?
So they just
work for that company for the rest of my life.
Exactly. I don't have to do shit. If I can use my phone, I don't give a fuck, right? I'll just sit in that room all day and do nothing. Yeah, so that's what they're doing. They say like 100 people have quit because they sent them to these rooms or whatever. So they're just trying to unload the workforce by doing that, which is not illegal, but obviously a terrible thing to do, right? Yeah. So and my point was, hey, here in the States, we've been having all these layoffs in the industry or whatever, and you notice that people are always like, look at Japan, they can't lay people off, or look at the UK, you can't do that unless you're going bankrupt and whatever. And it's like, corporations are corporations, man. If they want to get rid of you, if they want to cut costs, they will find a way to do it. It's just easy to do in America. It's not easy to do in other places, but they will do it. Absolutely.
In those expulsion rooms, is it just like an empty room and you can't bring anything with you, or can you bring stuff with you?
See, I don't know. I don't know all the details. Like, if you can't bring anything with you, that is absolute trash. But
might as well go to prison, man. I'd go to prison.
For fucking real. No, I mean, I don't blame people for quitting. But if you have like your computer and you're like, I don't know, or your phone or whatever. Like, I don't. Yeah, right. Your 3DS to play Bandai Namco hits on, such as like Tekken Revolution or something. Then you can do that. Yeah, it's a weird situation, but yeah, we talked about that. Other than that, there's not really much going on.
Yeah, it's been a pretty unhot week. Fuck it. Let's get to Kirby Planet Robobot. Hey,
let's do it.
Kirby Planet Robobot, of course, released worldwide released worldwide 2016. April for Japan and Korea. June for pretty much everywhere else. And man, this was I think 3DS got like 3 or 4 Kirby games total, and there's like the Blowout Blast, the Triple Deluxe. And then this,
I think I
and,
feel like those are the 3.
Weren't there some Kirby Clash or something? It was digital only. They ended up doing one for Switch.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
right. Which was actually kind of cool.
Very interesting time for Kirby, right? I always think of this period, this 2010s period of Kirby, as like sort of having a through line, like, you know, starting from like Return to Dreamland on Wii, going through Triple Deluxe, going through Planet Robobot, and sort of ending with Star Allies, which I don't think is very good, and that's probably why they stopped. But like, I think they had a winning formula, you know, and I think that is perfected in Robobot. So when I think about this game, I just think of like their culmination of efforts at this time of like making a bunch of Kirby games fairly consistently and using relatively the same engine and the same graphics to do these wildly different things with them. They don't feel like the same games, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've recently gotten into Kirby. Growing up when I was a teenager, you know, you had Nightmare in Dreamland, the one for the Game Boy Advance, the DS ones, all those, right? They existed. I never cared, even though my friends would play them. And I didn't really get into them until I saw Triple Deluxe for like $20 on the 3DS one time, digital, and I bought it. And I thought it was okay, but Planet Robobot, it is such an above and beyond Kirby game. Yep. Out of all of the one, because I've been playing the games just to see what if the series does click for me. Like the rest of them are actually games that I would want to play, and the only one that has felt at this level was Forgotten Land. Because it makes me think that personally, for me at least, Kirby needs to have a fun gimmick in order for it to be interesting to me. Because I'm pretty sure that Triple Deluxe is just like any other Kirby, except
it's fairly standard Kirby. It's fairly standard, yeah. That doesn't. I mean, for me, that's fine. But like, yeah, if you want the only real gimmick Triple Deluxe has is like the thing where you turn really big. I think Return to Dreamland has that too, right? Where you turn really big, you get like the big power, like the sword or whatever. Right, and you do the big sword slashes to like kill everything on screen. I mean, it's fine, but it sure as hell isn't. You know, the robots. I mean, the robots in Robobot are practically level of like, you know, like Mega Man X Ride Armor or something. It has that like feel. It has that like feel to it that like, you know, the other ones are just kind of a spectacle, which is fine. I love spectacle. Right, but like, yeah, Robobot is on another level with that. Everything about this game is on another level, and I agree with what you said about Forgotten Land. I think those are the two best Kirby games by far.
Thank you, dude. I to this very well. I mean, I say to this very day, but I just recently beat it earlier this year. But Forgotten Land, I think it's pretty darn close to being my favorite, man. It's a perfect game. But earlier this year, I was going on this mission to beat as many Kirby games as I could. So I beat like the first two Kirby games, like the two on Game Boy, which are like fucking 30 minutes. I beat the first game while I watched an episode of Guys Grocery Games in the background. That was pretty cool. And I beat a few others, and yeah, like Robobot, like even with all the ones I've beaten, even with what's the Metroidvania one on Game Boy Advance?
Amazing Mirror?
Yeah, Amazing Mirror.
That was my previous favorite before Robobot, and then Forgotten Land, yeah.
Yeah, like after playing all of those and like kind of dabbling in the DS ones, like Robobot still really, really stands out because it does so much shit. So much different shit. Like does so many cool different things that other games don't. Like Dreamland 3 dabbled in quite a bit with like the different companions you can ride on and giving them different abilities and shit. But dude, Robobot just blows every previous game out of the goddamn water, I feel like, anyway.
It really does. I really like Dreamland 3. And I really like Kirby 64. And like I said, Amazing Mirror was my favorite before before Robobot and now Forgotten Land. There are very few bad. I think the thing is for me, there are very few bad Kirby games for me. Like I genuinely do not like Star Allies. I do not like what was the first Squeak Squad. I fucking hate that game. I don't like that game at all.
I don't think there's any bad Kirby games. I think there's boring Kirby games.
Yeah, I guess
That's
boring
pretty
is
fair.
the worst thing you can be, though. I guess in a sense, especially I guess for a video game,
they're not broken. They play right. They do what they want to do. They're just not very entertaining. And then again, I have most of the Kirby games. I haven't played all of them, but going through Planet Robobot, I'm like, this was awesome. I want to see what the remake on DS is like, because I've never played that Kirby game. What is it? Superstar?
Yeah, Superstar Ultra.
Yeah, I've never
DS.
played Superstar. So that's something that I want to play now, because I went through Robobot all over again.
That's the opinion that always gets me in trouble. Superstar is just not for me. I just don't get it. I never have. I've never understood why that's people's favorite Kirby game. I don't understand. Maybe, but I'm clearly not the popular opinion here. So maybe you will play it, and I don't know. Maybe that DS version adds some stuff that makes it more interesting. But for me, I was just like, it's fine. It's totally fine. Kind of like what you were saying. So maybe you'll feel differently. But yeah, Robobot is a cut above for a lot of reasons, right? Like, how do I say it? It's the thing I always say about Mario 3 versus like Mario World, and why Mario 3 is not just my favorite Mario game. It's my favorite game of all time. Is because by the time we get to Mario 3, it's clearly made for an experienced gamer, right? Like, you played the other two, you know what you're doing, you know what Mario is. Here's this game. It's not overly punishing or anything. It's just that, Mario 3 is hard, don't get me wrong, but it's a challenge that is made for someone who plays video games, versus like Super Mario World is clearly made for like beginners. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I like the focus. I like when the level design focus is on experience. And I think that's why Robobot to me really stands out from like all the little like jumping over just like pipes, right? Just stuff in your way, jumping over little things, running under other things. You're using the star to go like, back and forth in the foreground or background. And people say, oh, it's just like a 3D gimmick for the 3DS. No, man, that's cool. Even if you're looking on a flat ass screen, you can play on a 2DS and that shit is still cool. It's not just a gimmick.
It does a good job of momentum, which
yes.
Oh, fuck which was my biggest complaint with Kirby 64, which I played in a hotel room. I figured out you couldn't dash, and I stopped playing because I could not do slow. And I think that might be one of my issues with Triple Deluxe. It's not very fast, but this Kirby game, there was a couple of times where I had to restart a stage over because I fucked something up and I thought I missed a cube, so I would restart it all over again. And I could get back to the same spot where I was in a matter of maybe 1 or 2 minutes, because the game flows so fast.
Mm-hmm. You're schmoovin' in Robobot for sure.
Yeah, man. What's like your first memory with the game or favorite memory with the game, if you can at all recall?
I can, for sure, because I didn't get a 3DS until Black Friday 2016. They were like $99. I got a new 3DS. Right?
Me fucking too, man.
Okay.
maybe mine was 2015. I forget, but
yeah, it was definitely the new model, right? And I was just like, okay, because I was out on Nintendo for a long time. I never bought a Wii U. I saw the 3DS. I'm like, fuck you guys. So I'm like, I would say from like 2010 or 11 through like practically 16 there, I didn't care about Nintendo at all. It's the longest period of my, I was like, I have this PS4 and that's all I'm doing. Fuck you guys. So I got a 3DS late because they announced Switch, and I was just like, you know what? I think I'm back in the game here. This is actually a piece of hardware that doesn't make me want to punch something. So so before Switch came out, I was like, okay, I guess I should do some 3DS catch up. So obviously I got the thing for Black Friday 2016, as I said, and I got Robobot. And I made that a priority because obviously it was the newest Kirby game. So yeah, I just remember having this new 3DS and playing this latest Kirby game on it, I guess is the memory I have, while kind of waiting for Switch to come around. So I was just in that period of me doing hella 3DS catch up. I was like, damn, this game is just, what have I been missing? Holy shit. I can't believe I was just going to be like, fuck this system and pass this by. I'm glad I got it.
Hell yeah. What about you, Chris?
So I got the Galaxy 3DS from my sister. her ex-boyfriend bought it for her. They broke up and she was going to return it to him, but he said no. So she's like, do you want this? Because I don't fucking want it. So I got a whole 3DS for free, basically. And nice. I started trucking, and I started realizing that all of the DS games were super cheap. So I bought it every single week. I would go and buy a bunch of 3DS games, and Robobot was one of them. It might have been around 2018, 2017 when I was trucking. And I started the game and I just went straight through on a weekend because it was so much fun. And it stuck with me. I found out about this game through The Completionist when he completed it. And I was like, that game looks fun, but I'm probably never going to play it. And then when I played it, I was like, oh shit, this is really good. So
yeah. Surprising, because you wouldn't think, right? Because like if you're we have this through line of like, you know, Return to Dreamland and Triple Deluxe, you might think like, okay, here's another Kirby game, right? Like if you had been playing along to that point, but I hadn't, right? So it's just like, okay, I'll just play the latest one, and I'm glad I did it that way, because wow, I may have missed out.
Yeah, man. Honestly, that is kind of how I feel the Kirby games usually go. Is like kind of like the same copy and pasted shit for quite a while until you get to something that's like kind of a little bit different. But my first, I think I got this game. It was either at a GameStop or like there's this dumb Midwest chain called Gamers. It's just called Gamers. It was at like one of those two stores. I forget. Luckily, it
was
came
Gamers
in
the ones
case.
at the gas station where you bought Superstar Saga.
No, that was a grocery store.
Oh, it's a grocery store.
That was Pomida. The Pomida was where I got Superstar Saga and Golden Sun.
And Golden Sun, okay.
For somebody.
Yeah, dude. Fucking grocery store.
Going to the grocery store, getting like some pork chops, some instant mashed potatoes, and a fucking copy of Superstar Saga to go along with them.
That's so weird.
That's great. That's rural Iowa, man. We didn't have like, other than like, we didn't have like any game stores around us, like dedicated game stores. We would either go to like the movie rental place or go to the gas station to rent a fucking game or a movie, or go to the grocery store to rent a game or a movie, or go to the other grocery store to buy a game or movie.
I knew there was a gas station there somewhere.
Yeah, some of our grocery stores had rentals of movies for sure. I remember that. But yeah, I have to remember. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, a gas station rental was the first time I ever played Final Fantasy X.
Oh,
wow. No, that's crazy. No, I was just gonna say I have to remember that there is stuff like that, because coming from San Diego, where we had. I have to remember not everyone had arcades, and not everyone had a million game stores to go to or whatever, right? So like I have to think like you have what you have in your area, and that's what you go to. And it's like, because like when people will tell me like, oh, they didn't have it at the store or whatever growing up, and I'm like, what do you mean the store? Like, what are you talking
it's
about?
Called the store.
Yeah, like literally the name of the store. But yeah, it was just like sometimes just people's options. So yeah, that can inform a lot. But yeah, gas station super almost said SuperPod Saga. Whatever. Yeah, now the game is called SuperPod Saga.
SuperPod.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, I bought Kirby Planet Robobot used from one of those two stores. Luckily, it came in the actual case with the manual with all the inserts. Thank fuck. And I got that. And then there was also, it was around maybe like a few months after the game came out. So they had like the little cardboard promotional cutout thing. I don't know why I'm doing fucking shadow puppets over here, but
I like it. Brings me home.
They had one of those like cardboard like promotional displays for Planet Robobot, and I was like, dude, can I have that too? And he was like, yeah. So it's down in my basement right now. I have a little cardboard promotional cutout for Robobot.
I had the promo cutout for Amazing Mirror for years. I had that thing.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
Because I loved that game, and all my friends worked at Game Crazy. I don't know if you guys had Game Crazy.
No.
But yeah, okay, but yeah,
that's not Walmart.
No, that's not Walmart.
Sorry,
they were attached to Hollywood Video stores. I don't know if you had Hollywood Video, but but they were a game store attached to that.
No, we had Video Avenue, and inside we had X Games.
Okay, yeah, X Games. That almost sounds filthy. I like it.
They had copies of the Guy game.
Wow, our Game Crazy had that too. I always saw it on the shelf for like $2, and I'm like, oh boy. Then who knew, right?
Right.
Who knew?
Oh man, Pomida is defunct. God damn it.
Oh, Game Crazy is long dead. That is well out of.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, when the Guy game came out, I was in my early 20s. You know, I wasn't above. I had BMX Triple X for GameCube. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm just saying, you know, but I did not have the Guy game. That was a bridge too far for me.
BMX Triple X.
Mm-hmm.
That game is the only reason why I know that Syracuse is a thing.
Like the city?
yeah, because apparently when you're playing, like you earn strip videos, and the strip videos are from like actual strip clubs all over the country, and one of them's from Syracuse, New York. And it would tell you Syracuse, and then I would play the video.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. It absolutely did.
Jesus Christ. So Kirby, right? Speaking of round
Don't
pink
let him
things,
go to Syracuse.
Kirby at Syracuse, dude. Kirby, they should do like Kirby in the Hood or something. Just gets executed in the hood.
Kirby was cool in my hood. We passed around that original Game Boy cartridge. That's what my memory should have been, was the original Kirby, if I was thinking right. But you know, hey, it's too late now. Can we go back and edit? Can we just start over from that point?
Holy shit. The first off, like, what makes this game so different from previous Kirby games? Robobot has these, on top of looking fucking great for a 3DS for a fucking handheld, it has these cool little sections where you get to pilot a mech suit, Neon Kirbvangelion, Avon Kirby, I don't know. I'm trying to make a Neon Genesis Evangelion joke, but it's falling real hard.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll pretend it was good.
Yeah, you pilot a mech suit, and then the mech suit can also copy different abilities. Yeah. We'll get more into that. Holy shit, more in depth with that here in a bit. But what do you guys think of the visuals of the game?
I
Good?
think
Terrible?
I think they're very good, but I think the reason they're very good is because they're kind of minimalist. It's a lot of metals, techie, neons, shit that's really simple and not detailed for the 3DS to do, and I think that's why it looks so good.
That's also why I run 60 frames a second without a hitch, which is like, ooh, you know, it's just, I mean, that silky smooth Kirby gameplay is really good. Looking at you, Star Allies, which cut it down to fucking 30 and sucks ass. But like, yeah, it's just like that gameplay. And for something as like we talked about, like you talked about momentum earlier, Chris, with this Kirby game, and it almost like, I know this is going to sound really silly, but like in a way, it almost reminded me of a Sonic game with the momentum. Obviously not the speed.
I can see that.
But with the level momentum. That's what Sonic is. You know, people always think it's like fast. And that is true to a degree, but its momentum is really what Sonic is.
It's being able to stay moving. It's not stopping. And it does it really well.
Does it really well, and Robobot really does that well, and that's what's and the visuals, like I said, with the frame rate and everything, and the way the game looks with that sort of simplistic. It's flat. There's a few like things in the background that are like a 3D object or two, but really not so much. It's really just kind of flat, and that's fine because you want to keep the focus. Like I said, you're going foreground and background, and you're doing these jumping around things. You want to keep it simple so you can kind of read the level the way it's supposed to be read. So I think, yeah, visually this game is insane. Obviously, all the motifs are crazy. I love that you start out in a mechanized sort of weird pipe land and not your typical forest or whatever. Yeah. I guess it's a mechanized forest, if you will. But all the usual Kirby motifs are here, but they're all tricked up because of the Robobot thing. All of the even the water level looks mechanized, and even the whatever, right? Like all of it gives it that new fresh coat of paint that, you know, maybe something like Triple Deluxe doesn't have, even though it's a fine enough game, right?
I totally forgot to start with that too. Yeah, basically the whole synopsis for this game is this alien craft comes from space or whatever, and it just starts mechanizing the whole planet pretty much. Like everything starts turning to like metal, and a lot of the enemies are like mechanized and shit. And that's pretty much it. You as Kirby, you try to find the big bad guy, and that's really it. One thing that I really like about this game is how much depth there is to each level. Like even when you're not playing with the 3D on, you have the shit totally off, just stone cold off. There is so much depth to the backgrounds, and even the foregrounds too, like little bits and bobs you see placed on like the ground or like toward the top of the level, shit like that. There's just it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like
one of the things that I like the most is the stages when you're in like a little city and you see like the buses and cars coming from all the way in the background.
Oh yeah,
and like stopping a couple of layers behind where you are, the light changing and them, going all the way straight through the screen.
That's incredible.
And you see the little Waddle Dee driving the car. When he comes to, you can see the car come to like an abrupt stop, and then the Waddle Dee himself, you can see him going like, like he kind of like falls forward with the abrupt stop, and you see him go. Like there's so much detail to that they didn't need to put in there, but they did, and I fucking love that. And the train, the levels with the trains, that shit was so cool.
There was one level with a train where it's scrolling and some gears kind of like come up in the corner, so you have the gears going, shit going on in the background while everything else you have where you are on your layer of the screen.
Yeah, and then they have like the little cages and shit in the background, and there's those. How the fuck do I describe this? It's like, so there's a thing on the ground that's spinning. It's like a hammer. It's just spinning, and you can see it going from the foreground, spinning to the background, and then into the foreground. Like it hits seamless,
you, and you fly all the way back into the background.
Yeah.
Or if it hits you coming back, it just on the screen, dude. That's so cool.
It's incredible. This feels like one of those Kirby games that I always say about the best Mario games, which is most of them, is that like it feels like they said to the staff, okay, everyone give me your ideas, all the ideas, shitty ideas, great ideas, doesn't matter, all the ideas right now, and then they somehow found a way to just put them all in the game. Like someone thought of this, like, oh, it's going to revolve around to the background of the floor. Like it feels like a bunch of things like that they just decided. It's like, let's just do everything, and those make for the best kind of platformers. Me.
Somebody said, let's put Kirby in a car and have him run over Waddle Dee constantly, and there's like 3 levels of that, and they're great.
They're great. They're so good.
And somebody said, let's do the flying levels of Super Mario Land. And they were great.
Yeah.
Those shmup levels.
Oh,
dude.
they were so good. Especially the last one.
Fucking tight.
Oh yeah. The rail shooter one. Yeah.
Well, I think it was in 8EX in the final stage. That one was really good because it was long, and you get like mini bosses showing up constantly as regular enemies. That one was very, very good.
It's so good, man. Yeah, so many. I forgot about that, man. There's just so many. Like I said, a game is so packed full of ideas like this, where it's like, if I can forget about something like that, that would be the highlight of any other platformer, right? This game just has a million things like that. That's what makes it the best.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at pictures that I'm pulling up on Google, and even just these fucking images from Google with their shitty resolutions, like there's still so much depth to all these levels. Like there's that one area pretty early on where you're Kirby and you're walking up that like spiral staircase to that tower. That was really fucking cool. Or there's like layers of like jungles and waterfalls and shit in the background. That's really fucking cool. And then when you do take that star to the background, and like I don't know, it just still feels totally fine. Still just feels like a normal level. And
the star stuff really does it for me. I think the foreground and background stuff. I really like that dynamicism.
I really enjoyed the car levels where, again, you would build momentum and you would be jumping between the background and the foreground constantly just to keep your momentum going, doing platforming that way. I thought that was just perfectly done. That so good.
Yeah. again, like people will see that stuff and it's like, oh, I might think it's like a gimmick or something. And it's like, nah, man, that's the soul of the game. That's gameplay.
Yep.
It is. So as far as, I guess that'll kind of bring us into gameplay. We'll save the soundtrack for a little bit later. The gameplay, man, holy shit. So there are already so many fucking copy abilities in this game.
Yeah.
But then when you get to like the robo armor, it completely fucking changes everything up. Like when you get like the flame copy ability for Kirby, it's just the same as it's always been. Just blow fire, do a fireball move, that's it. But then you get the fire ability for the mech armor. What I'm trying to get at here is that the whatever copy ability you can get as Kirby, you can also get for the armor. And for the armor, it's always something fucking super, super sick. It takes like the abilities you thought you knew from previous Kirby games and just like fucking upgrades them times 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stupid umbrella. Instead of just making it a stupid umbrella, it turns you into like a little helicopter mech, and that's like the rocket one. Instead of making you do like rocket jumps, it turns you into a rocket like a jet, and you do those cool shmup levels, dude. Oh my fucking god,
so good. It's incredible.
One of my favorites is the cutter, where you just get fucking buzz sauce.
Yeah, dude.
That's great.
I
love that.
The singing enemy, whenever you capture it, you get like fucking giant ass speakers. And Kirby's just like blasting noise. They're so good. They're so good.
It's great.
The fire one is just like flamethrowers on your arms, or like.
And then when you move, when you dash with the fire armor, you leave a trail of fire behind you that you can use to like turn on like fucking wicks for the cannons and stuff. It's the details are so crazy.
Yeah.
And the wheel turns you into like it was like a motorcycle or like a car or something. Oh, I forget.
I just love them all. I just think that like, Kirby powers, you would never before I played the game, I would never expect those to translate to the robots. I'm like, okay, the robot does a thing and that's it, and Kirby is Kirby. I would have never thought that just using the robot would be able to use his powers. And when I found that out, I was like, oh my god, this game's gonna be some shit. I think that flame one is my favorite. Honestly, it's such a simple thing to have this just badass like flame throwing ability in a mech, right? But there's something super satisfying about it that I enjoy.
There is a stage towards the end where the robot tree is chasing you, and if you have the flame ability, you can walk backwards while shooting it with the fire at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. That's some shit. Yeah, Mecha Wispy Woods. Yes. Like, can we take a moment, please? Because wow, I mean, like, I thought Wispy Woods and Forgotten Land was insane, and it is. But like, this also was just like, okay, y'all are. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, they gave him drills for feet, and it tries to fucking drill you.
Unbelievable. Wispy Woods actually comes after you.
What's everybody's favorite copy ability in this game? Just one. The one that you always gravitate towards, because the game does a really good job of giving you like a good mix of different abilities in each level that you can pick, but there's the one that I
can tell you which one's not my favorite, and that's the magic one. I did not like the magic one. Because it's short. It has a short range, and then like the dash ability for it is that Kirby splits into two, and that's it. I also didn't really like the PK one.
I think the magic is actually better. The magic one is actually better in Triple Deluxe. That's what I was thinking of. Because I was like, wait, I like that one. I was like, no, actually, I like it in a different game. So
before I go to the ones that I really like, I lied. We can pick like 3 of our favorites, but I really fucking hate the clown copy ability.
That one's pretty stupid too.
You just flip around and you juggle and shit. Like it's kind of cool because you can like do the gigantic leaps through enemies and shit. But like, God forbid you're near a ledge and then you just
yeah.
I like it. The fuck off. I don't know. I'm into it. I like that one.
The mirror one. I also don't like the mirror one.
I think that's the one that I was calling magic. I like the doctor. The doctor's fun. because
Doctor's great.
The dash ability is him hitting you with a fucking clipboard. And then the down attack is him like mixing potions to make like fire or electricity or ice.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, I like the cowboy one with the whip.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
that one's cool.
The sword one is really cool. Which one was the one that I liked the most? I think the one that I liked the most was just the robot with the cutter, because it just looks so cool when he's like throwing the gears.
The little buzz saws, and they arc right back to his little robot arms and shit.
My favorite is definitely the Doctor. That shit's ridiculous. I don't know why. Dr. Cool. Kirby is not a Smash character.
I did like the leaf one. The leaf one is very good for momentum, because he turns into a leaf tornado whenever you're running and you attack.
Yeah, shit goes fast.
Dude, I really liked the poison one, where like the dash attack is him like surfing on a poison wave.
Yep.
And then you can easily cheese some bosses with like his up attack is just him squirting this constant like upstream of poison. What was it? I think it's like his side B or regular B. You just poot out a little puff of like poison, and it just constantly damages the enemies over time and shit. That one was really, really cool. But yeah, the Doctor one's really good. The whip one is cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Doctor's got to be my favorite. Dr.
Kirby for president.
Yep. I think they did the martial arts one the best in this game, but you don't really get it a lot.
No.
Yeah.
I actually kind of forgot it was in this game.
Yeah. It's really good, but you don't get it a lot.
Yeah, they kind of push the newer ones actually a lot. They push the Rock one a lot too. God damn it! I don't want to be the Rock.
I like the Rock and the Robot.
Rock on me, God damn it!
The Rock and the Robot is good, but if for regular Kirby's, it's not that fun.
No more Rock.
They're never gonna get rid of that's been there forever. It's in every fucking game. They're never gonna not have the Rock, unfortunately.
Or the sleep one, which I think is just like a gag. They only have it in there as like a gag.
Gotta have it.
There's one of the scrolling stages where there's like 3 sleep bubbles, like one after the other.
Yes.
And and there's kind of like a little pit where if you touch it, you'll just fall asleep right there and the screen will kill you.
That happened to me.
Why would they do that?
I told you, man, that was someone's idea. What if we put a sleep guy? I'm telling you, someone just thought of this, and that did happen to me. So whoever thought of that, thank you, because it worked on me.
Fucking motherfuckers. And yeah, what I also liked about this game, I mean, I guess other Kirby games also have collectibles, but like the code cubes were really fun to collect because they hide them in really smart ways instead of just being like, oh, you broke a box, here it is, or instead of being like, oh, it's just, go up, there it is. They hide them in these cool, like I think it's on the train actually. There'll be an area where you get a battery from doing something, and you carry that like quite a fucking ways toward like the middle endish of the level, and then bam, code cube in the factory levels. There's a lot of there's a couple like shmup levels where at the beginning it'll tell you like, hey, go up, and then down and to the left, and there's a code cube for you, and you can do that kind of shit. But what did you guys think about those?
There were a couple of fun ones. There was one where it was start with fire, go to ice, then electricity, and you'll find a cube. That one was fun. I liked one towards the ending of the game where it was a very long path where you had to hit a bunch of switches for all of the blocks to break, so that at the end you could get the code cube. I mostly like about the code cubes that you have to play the game and look at everything and try to do everything in order to be rewarded with the cubes. So it's not like in Forgotten Land when they're like, oh, killed the boss without taking any damage, making you, if you take damage, you're going to have to replay the level all over again. It's basically just, you can get all the cubes in one go if you're good enough, which it's really easy. So
I think that's why I liked doing them a lot in Robobot, because typically collectibles like that in platformer are not something I care about ever. That's just not me. So in this, it, like you said, it's because collecting them is gameplay. Like the example you had with the, hitting the switches along the way and you get it. Oh God. I mean, Aaron, you mentioned I almost said Dreamcast, Dreamland 3 earlier. And good fucking luck to you if you want to get all the shit in that game. Like, because it's so esoteric sometimes, because you get to the end and it's like, whoever is sad because you didn't do whatever. And it's like, I didn't even know what I was supposed to do. You know, it's just like, how do I even know? And then like, but Robobot, there's none of that. So I really appreciate that. And that's what made them fun to collect, because collecting them was gameplay. It wasn't just, you know, do this weird challenge that we want you to do, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that either. I didn't mind doing them in Forgotten Land, because like with your example with, kill the boss with no damage or something like that, I think that stuff's fine. But Robobot is a lot more fun with it.
Yeah. There's the biggest thing about the code cubes for me in this game is that you can get all of them in one go, which to me is big, because I feel like the game respects my time by doing that.
Yeah.
That is the biggest reason why I didn't like Mario Wonder, because you cannot get in a lot of stages all of the seeds in one go. You would have to play the stage, come back, replay it a different way in order to get everything. I don't want to fucking do that. I just want to go through the stage once, do everything. If I fuck up and I have to do it again, fine. It was my mistake. It wasn't the game being annoying.
I hear you. I didn't do all that stuff in Mario Wonder either, but again, that's just not what I do in platformers. Robobot is definitely an exception.
Yeah, and yet, even with like the stickers too, those were sometimes kind of cool. But yeah, the code cubes, I forget what you get when you get all of them. I think you just get like the EX levels or something, or no, you need them to unlock like the next areas and like progress the game and shit. And yeah, they also unlock the bonus levels. Yeah, that's right. And then they give you those stickers that you can decorate your armor with, which is kind of cool. I just plastered mine with like snowmen and shit. I didn't know that. It's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for the gameplay, man. I mean, I guess no, because there's the cool mini games, like the cool the Meta Knight mini game thing where you can play through the game as Meta Knight, and it's Chris mentioned Momentum. Holy shit, with Meta Knight, dude, they basically condense the whole game down into like 4 quick segments, I think, and it's basically like speed run mode. You speed run through the whole thing with Meta Knight. When you kill enemies, you collect these little like drops of energy, which you can use to do like one of 4 moves, like heal or do like a screen clearing attack and shit like that. But fuck, it's so cool, man. It's fun to just like swipe through enemies with Meta Knight with his sword and just like jump, and then clear out levels as fast as fucking humanly possible.
I did not try this mode, honestly, so maybe now you're kind of making me want to.
It's good. It's cool, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like a greatest hits of the main campaign. So you're not going to hit every single stage, but you will hit them one after the other. You don't go into a menu to select a stage.
Okay, interesting.
Yep, it pretty much goes from like the first level of Robobot to Cyber Wispy Woods when you're fighting the tree, and then to the train, and then to the level after that. I forget, but yeah, it's there's also what is the other one called? Not the arena. I haven't tried the arena yet. Oh, Kirby 3D Rumble, which is like a puzzle game, kind of ish, I guess, because you inhale enemies and basically you just have to like clear out all the enemies, and you get bonus multipliers and points for clearing out multiple enemies with one attack or one move, shit like that. It's kind of fun, but it's no Meta Knight Returns, man. That Meta Knight was.
Meta Knight Return. Yeah, I typically don't like in Kirby. This is not just a Robobot thing. I typically in Kirby games don't typically do these other modes very much. Like they exist, and I know people like them. Obviously, they exist for a reason, but that's not. Maybe that's why I don't like Superstar that much, because it feels like that's the entire game. Here are these other modes. Bitch, I want a Kirby game. You know, so like maybe that's the reason why. But yeah, I gotta try the Meta Knight thing. You're actually making me want to try it.
They are fun. I love the Castlevania series, and I always like messing around a little bit with whatever Belmont mode they have, whether it's Julius mode or whatever. I like messing with it. I don't want to complete the game playing as a Belmont. But the Kirby games, there's an incentive because it's basically you have the sword power up plus wings. You can indefinitely fly, and the whole point of it is go fast, kill fast. So,
and
at least that's an allure for me, but I don't know about anybody else. Yeah.
And if you beat, like, I think the Meta Knight thing takes place, I think it's like after you complete the main game, because then there's when you beat the game with Meta Knight, there's like a secret final boss or a secret boss or something like that you fight. So there's kind of even more of an incentive to beat that. I don't know about the fucking Kirby 3D Rumble or whatever the fuck. I think that's just its own separate thing. But the Meta Knight, you at least get that secret boss to fight.
Yeah, I'm also a Castlevania person, and Julius Belmont is my favorite character. I cannot play that mode in Dawn of Sorrow. Sorry, I just can't. You know, like I really can't do stuff like that. I can't do it in Portrait. I can't do it in who do you get to play as? Homeboy in Ecclesia, the homeboy who has like the weird gun. I can't do that shit either. No. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. It's just not for me, right? So maybe alternate modes in games like this are just not my thing in general.
To be honest, Dawn of Sorrow is not a great Castlevania game. That castle and the magic system.
Dude, it's my fucking favorite one. How dare you?
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, my absolute favorite.
Oh man, Trey and I are gonna fight.
Wow, dude. I'll get over it. I'll get over it because Kirby, happy fun time, rated E for everyone. I'll cuss you out later.
Happy fun time.
To be honest, I prefer Aria because that's the Castlevania that cemented the formula for me. That's the one that made me understand what a Metroidvania is supposed to be. And then
Kevin when I says the same thing on Fine Time, yeah, with Aria.
And then when I played Dawn, they changed so much, and then they tacked on the whole touch screen, and I was like, I don't. This is not what I want Soma to do.
Man, I love it. I don't know what to tell you. I fucking love that thing. I love drawing them seals. I love locking them full dim
You're
seals.
Actually drawing like a seal, like the animal.
Dim seals. Yes, draw an actual seal on there. I love that shit. I love that anime ass intro where he does it with his hand and it goes fucking take me away. I love it. Yeah, it's my favorite. No, I understand what you mean, though. A lot of people feel that way. If I didn't know Kevin, I wouldn't even know that. He named his daughter Aria. I'll put it that way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of cool things, let's take an ad break. You guys ready?
Yep.
Ready. Got my pants on. What?
Okay, no, take them off because we'll be right back.
Okay, taking them off.
Kirby, that's the name you should know. Kirby, he's the star of the show. He's more than you think, he's got maximum pink. Kirby's the one.
If you enjoy retro gaming podcasts, I'd love it if you check out Afterglow, my retro gaming memories podcast. In each episode, we cover one game where we talk about my personal memories of the game, along with a lot of the gameplay, and we have a huge focus on the music in the game as well. We also have special guests every once in a while who come on and discuss their memories and their experiences with the game as well. So if you enjoy your retro gaming goodness, be sure to check out Afterglow.
Video games are a unique medium.
They can tell stories,
immerse us in strange, fantastic worlds,
blur the very boundaries of our reality.
But at the end of the day, video games are fun, whatever fun is to you.
I'm Jeff Moonen.
And I am Matt, aka Stormageddon.
And on Fun and Games, we talk about the history, trends, and community of video games.
It's a celebration of all the games we play and all the fun we find within them.
And there's so many more games out there. So we hope you'll share in that conversation with us.
Fun and Games podcast with Matt and Jeff. Find us on certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
And happy gaming.
So liquids, right? Are you guys big fans of liquids?
Yes, I have 2 right now. Plus all the ones inside me.
That's true. Andre, liquids, right?
They're fine. Sure, I love liquids.
Okay. Well, in case you want to solidify those liquids, it's I don't know a good name yet. We'll come back. We'll circle back to the name. It's liquid thickener. It's just a couple drops to any liquid, and it solidifies like something like we'll say like concrete, I guess. Hey, are you tired of your orange juice being orange juice? Drip drip, orange solid, baby.
Oh god.
Please don't ingest this. It's highly toxic. You will die. Please don't ingest this, or really get into your skin, I guess. But hey, lava lamps though, right? Drip drip. Now it's
fucking rocks
just
bouncing around.
Now it's just a figure.
I do have a lava lamp. I'm afraid to test it on mine though, my baby.
It's just gonna be a statue. That, man, it's just a little fucking statue.
Lava statue.
Man, Mountain Dew is good, but guess what? Drip drip. Oh, Mountain Rock Dew. Now I don't know, man.
Mountain Rock. What is this?
Help me out.
I'm trying to think of a name for this product. How about I don't know. No, that
Uncle Chet's liquid thickener elixir.
Liquid elixir thickener.
Liquid elixir
just two
thickener. That's good.
Uncle Chet's liquid elixir thickener. There we go. Uncle Chet's. A couple drops of Uncle Chet's. Bam. You're solid.
If your name is Chet and you are an uncle, you are a pervert. That's all I have to say. That is a pervert name,
right? What were you trying to clean that you created that
yeah,
item?
Man. I don't know.
It's probably. Here's the thing. He was probably working as like a janitor at a school where kids puke a lot, or like maybe at a theme park where kids also puke a lot. And he was just like, man, there's just no good way to clean this up. I'm not spending the money on wood shavings or kitty litter. Fuck you. I'm gonna find a way to thicken up this puke more than it already is. And then Uncle Chet himself was like light bulb, voila, here it is, drip drip, and then bam, now the vomit is a part of the sidewalk. You can walk on it now. Without getting your shoes dirty.
Wow. Uncle Chet, what an invention.
That's the origin story right there. That's the
it's on the back of the bottle, like you read how they found it in 2003 when
The funny part, it's written exactly how Aaron said it because he read it straight from the bag.
Yeah, I've got one right here.
He read it verbatim.
Yep, right from the package.
That's the slogan too. Drip drip. Now it's a solid.
Drip drip. Now it's solid.
Oh, holy shit. Chris, what's your favorite way to use Uncle Chet's liquid elixir thickener?
For some reason, they buy.
Let's go with Uncle Chet's.
They buy a lot of milk in this household, so that milk usually turns to go bad in a couple of days. So I like to put it in there and then just throw it at the kids that ride their skateboards up and down the road. It's doing a really good job of getting rid of the kids.
Ooh, and then you know what? You could save a chunk of that solid milk for yourself and kind of like chisel away at it and like keep a little piece for yourself and like suck on it like a lozenge,
yes.
like a fisherman's friend.
Yes, it's like what's it called? Cottage cheese lozenge. It's great.
Oh man!
Did we invent a new product here on SuperPod Saga?
Dairy lozenge.
Hello, fish tank or not fish tank? Shark Tank. Fucking
fish tank.
Fish tank lozenge.
Mm-hmm.
That yeah. Fisher. You ever had a fisherman's friend though? Holy shit! That'll clear up like. That'll clear your entire like upper third of your body of like any mucus or like you're so mentholated, dude.
Everything.
Shit's crazy. Trey, favorite Uncle Chet's uses? Hit me.
I like to play pranks. I like to play. It's just a prank, bro. Okay. So sometimes I like to put a little drip drip in the toilet, and then someone comes by. It's 2:30 in the morning. You're about to take a piss. You stand there, and it's just like you're pissing outside on the concrete. Yeah, it's just like it sounds literally like you're on the street, and you're too drunk at the bar, and you're just pissing on the street. And it's like, what is this sound? That was not what I was expecting. And then it's just like, oh man, I should have turned on the lights. Dun, 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 dun. And it's just a block of yellow granite in there. That liquid elixir is thick with 2 C's.
It's like
resin.
Yeah.
Resin.
Like resin.
Yeah, then you
just in case
you gotta get a jackhammer.
And resin.
Dude, could you imagine if you took like a wicked hot dookie and then drip, and then it's just like, and the water would be thickened, so like the water retains its natural like translucence, so it's just like a see-through, like solid see-through water. There's just like a little poop in there, like kind of coiled up.
I could have used that the day I got Phantasy Star Online. I'll tell you that much, because
Me, I like to, so harkening back to the lozenge talk, whenever we make soup here in this house and there's way too much left over, I don't want to like load it up into like a million bowls and put it in the fridge. I want to just again drip, and then now I have little suckable lozenges of soup. I don't know. It's the future of food.
Can we talk about how hard it is to store soup?
Oh, dude, God, it's so tough.
It's a bitch.
It's wild. Especially if you make a big-ass pot of soup. You can't put that whole thing... I can't put it in my fridge, I'll tell you that much. So, damn. Yeah.
It's total fucking pain, man.
Well, this way,
thank you, Uncle
much
Chet.
more convenient. Thank you, Uncle Chet.
That's right.
I'm sorry for calling you a pervert at the beginning of the segment.
That's okay, he is, but luckily he came up with this and cleared his breath. He didn't spend 3 years in prison for nothing.
I mean, look, he paid his debt to society.
Right? That's how he shortened his sentence. It wasn't good behavior, because he was not behaving well in prison, but...
No, Uncle Chet's a real fucker.
For sure. You have to be doing Vince something like this.
Oh, man. Shit. Thanks, Uncle Chet, for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you.
Honey the Fisherman's Friend. Holy shit, my pipes are all blocked up, dude.
I need Pepsi after that. Let's see.
You know what's funny? You made that up and that shit actually exists, but for getting rid of grease.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
What, the liquid thickener?
Yeah, it's like a powder. You pour it on like frying grease, and it basically makes it a solid shit that you can scoop out of the bowl and throw it out.
Yeah.
Holy shit. We've usually just like if we have an empty container of like anything, like say if I make like a cup of noodles, you know, and we usually just like, once the grease cools down, and we'll just pour it into like the noodle cup, or like pour it into like a fucking soda bottle or something, and then just throw it away.
Yeah, we have a hole in the backyard where we pour everything.
Okay.
Throw in the liquid. Throw in the hole.
Yeah,
throw in the liquid hole.
The other day, I cleared out the freezer because I made groceries and I bought a bunch of freezer shit. And I threw like 2-year-old pasta sauce in the hole.
Oh my God.
Like,
is this real? Is this really
roast beef juice? Everything. Yeah. It's basically a hole off to the side where the trees are, and I just throw everything there. Hopefully the cats get into it and enjoy a home cooked meal.
Have fun.
You've got this like fucking Silence of the Lambs hole, but like. You're just throwing soup and shit in there?
See, I say hole, but it's more like a puddle.
I just like the primordial ooze aspect of it. It's just like, okay, so you're sending it back to the earth.
Right. It's like the one patch where grass doesn't grow.
Yeah. That's from all the fucking grease and like pasta you've thrown in. It's like that episode of It's Always Sunny where they're talking about that, like, that's the yuck puddle. Like, it's not a liquid, but it's not a solid. Like, why doesn't it evaporate? Like,
yuck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, we're back though with more Kirby
time.
Right back at you. Shout out to the Kirby anime or cartoon or whatever.
I love that in that cartoon they gave DDD the most Texas ass accent ever. It was great. I thought that was inspired.
Kirby.
It's perfect. Loved it.
Dude, that theme song was a fucking ball slapper too. Kirby, saving the day. Kirby, he's here to stay. I didn't mean to throw so much like Louis Armstrong on it.
You went ham on that one. Yeah, that's you've been practicing that in the mirror, haven't you? I don't know why you're doing it in the mirror, but
maybe.
Okay.
No, that theme song is just it's good, man. I used to watch that cartoon so when Fox Kids first became the Fox Box, and they were like, hey, we have Sonic X and Kirby Right Back at Ya and Fighting Foodons. For anybody that remembers Fighting Foodons, the show sucks ass, but they had it, and I watched it, and it was cool for me as a kid because they had a hot dog character named Hot Dog on it. He was a cowboy, and he went hot dog on it, and he had ketchup and mustard fucking handguns. It was really sweet.
You shot ketchup and mustard?
Yeah, they were shaped like ketchup and mustard bottles, but they had like little like gun handles, and he went all hot dog on it and would shoot ketchup and mustard.
Gee, I can't imagine why this flopped at all. Wow.
Okay, now I wonder what bullet would hurt more, a ketchup bullet or a mustard bullet? And if it's mustard, what kind of mustard? Is it Dijon, yellow mustard, spicy brown?
Was it ketchup or catsup?
Right?
I feel like mustard, no matter what, I feel like mustard would be it. It's spicy. I feel like it would get into your pores and feel kind of, I'm kind of feeling
itchy.
The burn right now thinking about it. Yeah.
But also,
for sure.
That
also, ketchup
itch.
has a lot of sugar and vinegar in it.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I think I'm going mustard though. I'm feeling the spicy burn mustard.
Spicy burn.
I think the mustard one would hurt more, but I think the ketchup one would get infected easier.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it'll attract way more flies too.
Oh yeah,
because how much sugar is in there? Those flies would be just
they're buzzing.
biting you, dude. Yeah, they're buzzing. Speaking of buzzing, though, let's talk about the fucking soundtrack to this game.
Oh
because,
my god, dude!
Andre and I both agreed that it's really, really fucking good for a Kirby game. Chris, you don't like it though.
I don't dislike it. I think it's all right.
Not trying to shame you, but yeah, man, the soundtrack to Forgotten Land, I think, is still probably my favorite. That or what the fuck is it called? One of the ones on Game Boy Advance.
Amazing Mirror?
The remake of the first one.
Oh.
No, the other one.
Return to Dreamland?
Nightmare in Dreamland.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
That one had some really, really good songs too, but
mine is definitely Forgotten World or Amazing Mirrors. My two favorites. Probably put Forgotten World above it.
Dude, Forgotten World had that one track where like when you're in the like little the bonus areas where you go to, I think you get like the crystals or like the star crystals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The track that played in there was really good, and then the snowy city area. Holy fuck, those tracks are always really good.
Killing it. I think I like the reason why I like Planet Robobot so much is not just it can feel like your typical Kirby soundtrack, right? Like it's doing a lot of things, maybe not a lot of familiar tunes, and that's also why I like it. They're not doing a whole bunch of callbacks and shit like that, like Triple Deluxe did, which is fine. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't like to hear those songs in a new format, but Robobot is a lot different, and I think the instrument choices are very key here, right? Because like you hear it even in the intro to the game, where it's like when the Planet Robobot thing ascends upon Popstar and starts drilling in, it starts having that mechanized sound. It's all the drum tracks kick on, and it's like sometimes it's like drum and bass, sometimes it's like what's it called, dubstep. Right. Sometimes it's just very like it has that real march beat to it where they're layering drums on top of each other. And I really like that stuff. I really like thematic things like that in music, in video games. So when you get to places that are more mechanized, you hear that stuff more often. Plus, when you get into like a place that's like a bonus room or something, it straight up sounds like a chiptune sometimes. So it's like this very varied soundtrack while still giving you Kirby. And then there's this other side of it that has this real, I don't want to say jazzy, more like Japanese like city pop vibe, right? Where it's like this, like, you're outdoors where, obviously our favorite song Between Us has that. We'll probably talk about in a sec. But Yeah, I think the instrument choices make it key. There's guitars when it is really amping up, when you're going through a real fast place, right? Or getting to a boss, right? All the boss themes are kicking. I just think it's a great soundtrack. Again, maybe not my absolute favorite Kirby soundtrack, but definitely a great one and great thematic elements to it.
So I think the biggest reason why I don't have anything to say much about the soundtrack is because I was playing on a 2DS XL. The speakers for the 2DS XL kind of suck. They're kind of awful. And I wasn't using headphones, and the game, the effects for when you hit stuff, pick up stuff, do whatever, are so loud that they kind of overshadow the music. Now, there would be times where I would walking somewhere and you would have a variation of the Kirby theme play, and I would pick that up. I would recognize it, but most of the music just fell flat, either because I couldn't really hear it or I wasn't looking for it. So, and honestly, I as much as I love music, I don't really have music or soundtracks stick with me unless there's something exceptional like Persona or Mario or stuff like that. It usually soundtracks don't stick with me.
Okay,
I get that, man. Well, I've between the three of us, we've all picked some pretty varying or a good variety of songs, actually. So the first one we're gonna do is "Sky High and Smitten."
Oh, you got the soundboard.
Is that too loud, or do you want me to turn it down?
No, this is never too loud.
Sounds good.
Listen to that shit, man. It's slapping.
That fucking flute.
That's a good bass.
I'm doing the flute totally wrong. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck instrument this is.
What I really like about this song is that the lead instrument... See, now we're on this brass. The lead instrument changes like almost every couple bars, right? So it's like, it gives you this like feel.
Yeah, this is that city jazz that you were talking about.
Yeah, city pop. Yeah, it sounds exactly like 70s and 80s like Japanese city pop. That's exactly what it's like to me anyway.
Yeah. That's good.
This giving me real hard like early Shin Megami Tensei vibes.
Man, this
Shin Megami Tensei 9
Digimon to me.
Oh, that too, man.
Well, you know what's really great about the song too? The level that it appears in, it's all like... But go ahead.
You heard part of the Kirby theme in the song. See, that's what I would pick up on.
Okay. Yeah, see, I'm actually pretty shitty at picking up on stuff like that. Like, I have noticed when I heard it, but like, I'm actually, that recalls that. It's like, if it's at a different tempo and a different instrument or something, it's hard for my brain to make a connection sometimes. But yeah, after a while of listening, I was like, oh yeah, of course. But yeah, the level that it appears in is really key. Obviously, it's in the highway stage, and it's like...
Fuck yeah.
Cars are whizzing by. Chris, you talked about like how, the cars are coming through and whatever, you're running across highways, across bridges, you're jumping up through apartment buildings and whatever. The backgrounds, the buildings are like, they're like doing a sound visualizer. Like the windows on the buildings are like, going up and down, almost like a digital equalizer or something from back in the day, right? Or
almost
it's like
Hi-Fi Rush kind of, where shit's just like kind of like
bopping
schmooving a little bit to the beat.
That's cool. I didn't notice
that. The background hazards are doing the thing where the big notes are coming forward towards you into the foreground. They even do that with the song with the bump, bump, bump before the reset, right? They even do that in the pattern. Like that's the game at that point. It's like, what the fuck? Even when you get the robot with the speakers, it's also bumping along with the song. Like you can see it on the screen. All of that stuff combines to make, like, quite frankly, my favorite Kirby moment. I think that shit is maybe besides going through the abandoned mall in Forgotten Land, maybe that. But like, if I'm picking, those are like 1 and 1A in my brain. Is that because I cannot separate the song from the visual and the level that it appears in, and that's what makes it, like, for me, not just the best song. Even if I just heard it, it'd be like, this is the shit. It was the game too. It was the moment that made it that way.
By the way, I almost forgot about this, but like the final boss that you face is Kirby, not like after like at the end of the main game, whatever, the Gurren Lagann ass like fucking anime mecha fucking mecha suit final boss battle. Holy shit, that's so sweet. You're just Robo Kirby just annihilating this fucking boss, dude. That was so sweet.
It's incredible.
Like maybe other than Forgotten Land, which I really fucking love. That final boss was really good, but the one for Robobot was just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Look at I'm smoking a cigarette, but yeah, it was really cool.
Well, you did I think you did that when we recorded Grandia 2. I think you did damn near the same thing. It was perfect. Yeah.
By the way, do you think like with the piccolo, I wonder how many piccolos someone could play at like one time. You think you could do like almost a pan flute kind of thing, but with piccolos, like the pan piccolo, do like duct tape 4 together and just
like that. Okay, I was like, what are you playing a piccolo with your ass or something, or like fucking?
Oh, hell yeah!
I was like, what do you mean? Okay, that makes more sense. Even though it's still stupid. It's dumb as fuck. It's great. No,
might as well just play a fucking pan flute. Yeah,
I remember what you're talking about with the last boss. Yeah, that shit is incredible. Yeah, it's one of the. It's something I've never said about Kirby games until this. I never have gotten to say about Kirby games to this point. The music actually does heighten the game. It's part of the game in a way that I feel is inseparable, and I would never say that about any other Kirby game. It's like, yeah, here's the game, the music. Yeah, of course they're together, but in this game they feel like one on the spiritual sexual level.
Spiritual sexual level.
See, now I feel like I got to buy another 3DS and just replay the game all over again because I didn't pick any of that.
Play with headphones, man.
Gonna have
Play with headphones. I promise.
Even if you don't do like full on headphones, do like an earbud. So if your wife is telling you about some stuff, you can be like, "It's great, babe," dun, 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 and you're just like. You're schmooving, like, all right, I'll get to it in a minute, babe. Hold on.
Invisible dicks, like.
So you're playing your piccolos. Fuck yeah, dude. The next one is Neon Laboratory.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the shit.
I think this was Chris's pick, right?
Might be.
I love it.
See, this wasn't my original pick. My original pick was this one song that's kind of like it's very short, but it's jungle. It's jungle. It's like drum and bass, but it's lower, bit faster. And I couldn't find it. Let's see if I can find the name. I'll let you know. See if maybe you can cue it up. But this one is really good.
This is an excellent one, yeah.
If you find the name of it, let me know, man. I can download it on shout out to KH Insider, baby.
Our favorite site. No, this song is great because it has a lot of that drum layering I was talking about. I really enjoy it on that level.
Yeah, dude.
I love any song that does that. You're gonna get me with that. This is excellent. It takes you right back there, huh? It's one of those songs that's like, oh yeah, I remember that.
This like it kind of doesn't feel like a Kirby song, but then it kind of does because you have like that like I don't know how to explain it. That like like you hear in a lot of other Kirby songs.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense at all. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to say. It feels Kirby familiar, but it's not like songs necessarily that you've heard before. It's pretty original.
Yeah.
All right, so the song is called "The Forgotten Heart." So it does kind of like an intro, and then it goes into the usual jungle. That one I really
love
like.
It.
Which I'm surprised they didn't have more EDM in what I looked through.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, I mean, we don't really think about too much, especially for like a platformer of like, soundtracks being like fairly timely, but honestly, they can be. Like Super Mario World sounds like 1991. It just does, and it's all the orchestra hits, all the, it's just, it sounds like the time. And so does Robobot. It sounds like 2016.
Because it came out at a time where, EDM was still somewhat prevalent, even though it was going down, because trap was the thing that was coming up in that time.
Trap was coming up,
but EDM was still relevant, and this being a whole game about cyber stuff, you'd think you'd have EDM. See that jungle beat in the back, this one I really like.
I used to listen to hell of jungle when I was in my teen years. Holy shit. 90s was jungle time. So yeah, that's very appealing to me.
With the random keystrokes in between, so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The one I picked out is Submarine Suburbs.
Oh yeah.
This reminds me of Bomberman Hero a little bit.
You're always going to get me with a song like this. I love this shit. Is this played when you're actually underwater, or is it one of those hybrid levels where it's like, do you remember? It's not too important if you don't remember, whatever.
I forget. I'm pretty sure it is, but I can't remember for sure.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. We're talking about momentum, right? And this makes you feel it. I understand that, so I'm a fan of underwater levels, and I know some people don't like them because they feel like they're not momentous or they're too slow or whatever. I always like underwater levels in platformers. I think they're necessary for breaking up flow, and this one just makes you feel like you're going somewhere. It has that movement feeling, and that's just so important to Robobot's gameplay. It's all, again, the spiritual sexual level. Telling you.
This is good. You also kind of hear the Kirby theme in it, slowed down, a little bit stretched apart, but it's there.
I didn't notice that.
See, I didn't notice it in this song, that's for sure.
I like this. This is good.
Dude, I love fucking tracks from water levels. So this, obviously the one from Mario 64, the one from Donkey Kong Country, fucking the one from Glover. I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but water levels always have the best fucking tracks. Or the one from Mario 3, dude. Mario Bros. 3, holy shit.
I like the one from New Super Mario Brothers a lot, too. That's one of my favorites. I know people like to shit on those games, but I like that song.
How long is this track? Holy shit.
You know what?
Oh, okay, it's over.
Okay, just stop. You know what, Chris, you were talking about finding stuff and other stuff. My brain triggered something really, really fucking obscure. So, HAL Laboratory, I think it was the last game they made before Kirby. It wasn't exactly a launch game for SNES, but it was damn near close. It was called Hyperzone. It was a Mode 7 rail shooter, 3D rail shooter. I've talked about this game a million times to anyone who will listen, right? But, of course, Jun Ishikawa worked at HAL Laboratory at that time, so of course he did the soundtrack for Hyperzone. And I think it's the last thing he worked on before Kirby. And you can hear in that game, some stuff that would eventually be Kirbyisms, right? He's starting to get there. You can hear it. Yeah, Kirbyisms. But Hyperzone is a fan-fucking-tastic soundtrack, okay? Probably my favorite SNES soundtrack. He kills it on that. There's a song, and if I were thinking more, I probably could have found the Hyperzone song and found the Robobot song. He pulls something from Hyperzone from the last level of this obscure game he worked on, and it's in Robobot. Now, I don't know who he thought would hear it besides me. I'm the one person maybe, right, who would even notice something like that, but I did, and I heard it, and my brain immediately went, "Oh shit. What is wrong with this guy?" He references Hyperzone sometimes, like in Kirby's Dream Land 3. I think the last stage is called Hyperzone. I think. Yeah, so it's like, I guess maybe it's a game that if he feels a certain way about in his life. But anyway, yeah, just talking about things that, you know, composers reuse stuff. I did notice that Jun Ishikawa, I heard you. Jun Ishikawa is definitely listening to the show. Okay, he's hearing my
please. Yeah. I hope if he is, thank you for making such awesome jams.
Anyway, thanks for indulging my digression.
Hell to the yeah. Any dislikes to the game? Because I really can't think of anything I didn't really like.
I find this game almost impossible to criticize. Maybe the only thing is that if you're playing in 3D, the frame rate can stutter sometimes. If you're playing in 2D, it's a lock 60. If you're playing in 3D, it can chug a little bit. Literally, that's it. I really don't know what bad I can say about this game.
Same.
Yeah.
Chris?
I might be able to nitpick. I would have loved more of the side-scrolling shoot-'em-up levels. I would have loved to see an underwater shoot-'em-up side-scrolling level.
Oh, that'd be fun, yeah.
That
like in the hunt, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I love In the Hunt.
Basically, I would love to see a sequel using the same thing, just make it bigger and better.
Ooh, yeah, like keep it side scrolly, but put more robot suit copy abilities in there. That'd be really, really cool. More segments where you get to use the robo suit a lot more, because like you do get to use the suit quite often, but like some levels I feel like you would just hop in, move like fucking 4 feet, and then you have to hop out, and the rest of the level you're just regular Kirby, but use the suit just a little more.
There were a couple of levels where you would start the level as regular Kirby, get in the robot suit, solve one puzzle, get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that does happen. I don't know. For me, I really think the game has a perfect mix for me of that kind of stuff. I don't feel like, oh man, I wanted to use a robot more. I hate when platformers have a gimmick and they don't really let you use it, right? I feel like this game gives you plenty, so I was not wanting for that. Yeah, I genuinely find this game like almost impossible to criticize. I said, outside of a little bit of icky frame rate when you're playing in 3D, that's it. Yeah. Icky.
Yeah, no, I gave this game a 10. In my list, it's a 10 out of 10. Just like Forgotten Land, I honestly can't pick which one of them I prefer the most, because they're both fucking amazing. They're incredible Kirby games. Overall, these are examples to follow when doing a side-scrolling platformer, and you're not trying to imitate Mario.
Yeah.
And not trying to add in so much shit that has nothing to do with platforming, because like the shmup levels, like those still feel like the same formula as Kirby. When you try to do shit like in the early days of the PS2 with like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger and shit like that, where they add in like those dumb fucking turret levels, or they try to add in like in Conquer the dumb fucking lava surfing garbage. Don't do that.
Have either of you ever played Shadows of the Damned?
I have. Yeah, I love it.
No.
Okay, so it's Resident Evil 4 until it's not. And when it's not, it becomes a shitty turret game and a shitty side scroller. Don't do that.
Fuck that.
They made some weird decisions. I still really like that game, but yeah, there was some stuff.
I love it when it's Resident Evil, but then the other stages are like, what? Why? You had gold. Why? What are you doing?
It's strange. Yeah, they made some. Yeah, it's like, we don't really need to be doing this. It's just not that fun, you know. But yeah, it didn't distract me enough to be like, this game's. I didn't think those parts were bad though, but it was just like, not optimal. Yeah, I can't even.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah, it has the right difficulty. You know, it's like what I was going back to saying, like, this is obviously made for an experienced person to play. Kirby games are never really that hard. And in fact, that's probably my favorite. My biggest criticism of Kirby 64 is that it's so fucking easy. Like, even by Kirby standards, it is piss easy. It is so, like, no resistance at all. Piss easy. Okay? Easier than pissing, that Kirby 64.
Well, that's it for Kirby Planet Robobot. Now we're moving on to the saddest part of the show, but also kind of the most generous. Now it's time for
Random Recommended Games!
Random Recommended Games. It's your favorite section of the show. I hope you guys picked a game to randomly recommend because I sure didn't. I fucking forgot. But I can
I got it in my brain.
One.
Want me to go first then?
Yeah, go for it. I'm trying to find one real fast that I can actually talk about.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go something super recent. I'm going to say UFO 50. Okay? Everyone go out and buy UFO 50. This is what I said. I did a little solo episode, plug on Fine Time earlier this month on UFO 50. I reviewed all 50 games in almost 50 minutes. It was 53 minutes, okay? I almost did it. But the reason why I did it is because I believe that, I mean, for $25, getting these 50 games, for $25, even if just like 5 of them were good, that would be incredible. Right? Like 40 of them are fucking great. You know, like the hit rate on UFO 50 is insane. So if you want some bang for your buck and you have a Steam Deck, that's what I'm playing it on. Or I guess you can just play on your computer too, which is also fine. But definitely for Steam Deck play, I can't recommend anything better than UFO 50. Probably my favorite game of the year so far. It is insane how good those games are.
I second that, man. Jerry babbled on and on and on about it in our recent episode. He went fucking off about the game, so much so that I ended up buying it myself, and I fell in love with quite a few of the games on there. Fucking Avianos, the Dino RTS.
I'm so bad at that game. Dude, that's one of the two games. House. That's one of the 2 games on my episode I declined to give a grade because I cannot play Avianos. I'm too dumb for that. I cannot do that. Sorry.
It's so good. I still have to play Divers also.
Divers is so fucking good.
Oh, what is there? Alphazar's Hat. That's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, UFO 50 is good. My game that I picked, by the way, is Shock Troopers. Probably my favorite. Well, I shouldn't say my favorite run and gun by Neo Geo because Metal Slug fucking rocks.
Metal Slug fucks. All of them, even the bad ones, are fucking incredible.
I've played this game like 8 million times. And there's all sorts of there's just a billion. Well, not a billion. There's different paths you can take to get to the end of the game. But you start here, or start in like the jungle, go to the mountains, blah blah blah. Different characters that you can play as.
Big Mama.
Yeah, Big Mama's in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Damn right, she is Big Mama. That's where the Big Mama emoji in the server came from.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the gameplay is just so fucking good, man. Like there's something about a shooter that when you start shooting, you lock into place, and then you can just like strafe in like the direction that you're facing and shoot. Like that. The Zero Gunner games, those do that really, really fucking well too. And then there's
Alphazar's Hat does that.
Alphazar's Hat. Yep. There's that other one in UFO 50.
Overbold.
That's what it is. Yeah. But yes, if you love arcade games, if you love Neo Geo, go play Shock Troopers. I really love it. Please.
It's on Arcade Archive, so you could be able to get it on anything for cheap.
It is.
Okay. All right.
Chris.
Okay. This is a game that I absolutely fucking adore, and I don't hear anybody talking about it. Do you guys like being teenagers with attitude?
Sure. I was once that.
I still am.
Do you guys like transforming?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Do you guys like dinosaur powers?
Yes. I mean, is that even a question?
Hell yeah.
So Mighty Morphins for the Super Nintendo, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo. Like, it's such a good side-scrolling beat 'em up. You start as the regular person, right? So you're like Billy in his overalls, or Sack, which I hate Sack's character model. It's so racist and problematic.
It's crazy. It's so wild.
You're fighting putty troopers, like beating the shit out of them. Out of nowhere, you see a boss, you transform. The music goes fucking crazy. You get a 16-bit rendition of the Power Rangers theme song, and then you get a weapon and you start fighting even more enemies. It's so fucking good.
It's a pretty good game. Yeah, my friend had it. I played it at his house quite a bit. Yeah, and I've never been in the Power Rangers. I've never watched it. I've never cared about it that much. But like, yeah, that game though, definitely for sure.
And it's short. I think it's only like 7 or 8 stages. Like you get 5 as regular people Rangers, and then 3 as the Megazord.
Yeah,
it's
a really cool game.
It's so good, and the music throughout the entire game is fantastic. It's such a good fucking game, and I'm ashamed of our podcasting circle because nobody talks about
it. I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I have to until you mention it, but it's like, yeah, my friend had that. That's a pretty fucking good game.
I'm surprised Jerry hasn't talked about that, because we did that episode about licensed games, and I feel like he might have talked about it on there, maybe, unless I'm thinking of something else. I know we talked about. I'm pretty sure we did. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo.
Awesome.
It's really good. You can run it on your Super Nintendo Mini or your Steam Deck or your ROG Ally or
your phone.
The little console that Aaron uses. Anything. It runs on anything.
The Amber
Neck. Yeah.
Your Tesla. I'm pretty sure you can run on a Tesla. Soft mod your Tesla.
That's a better use.
It would lock up a Cybertruck like that.
Cybertruck runs on fucking MS-DOS or something.
Cybertruck's running on Windows 3.1 or some shit.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, that is a good game. It is a good beat 'em up. I am a beat 'em up connoisseur, and I did like that Power Rangers game.
Connoisseur.
So good. And there's like a speedrunning community for it. So people have figured out which Ranger is the best to get through which stage the fastest. And seeing speedruns of it is just crazy. It's so good.
Sounds nuts.
So good.
Speedruns are awesome, man. I love seeing Symphony of the Night speedruns, because just people going like, they're just like backward. They're doing the backward dash the entire fucking time. They'll flip to the other side real fast when they get into a room and backdash, like everywhere they need to get to until they get the wolf form, and then it's crazy shit. Speed of crazy shit though. That's it. That's the show. That's it, everybody. Go on home. Listeners, if you're still listening, thank you for listening up to this point. Love you, smooches. I'm not gonna do it right now because my mouth is real dry. Andre, hit me with a couple smooches, please.
Yeah.
One sec.
Aaron.
This is the ASMR section of the podcast. I'm not very good at ASMR because I do that a lot.
Let's become one on the spiritual sexual level.
Let's do it. Spiritual sexual. Listeners, that's it. Thanks for listening. If you like what you listen to, please check out the Patreon. $2-4 a month, bonus episodes, all sorts of early access, all sorts of cool stuff. Check out SuperPodNetwork.com. I implore you. There's cool blogs, there's cool shows, Find Time and Novel Console Gaming Together, all of Bill's stuff. Check it all out. Everybody say bye.
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 Okay, bye.